Everyone wants to blame San Antonio's 2 losses on bad luck, on a missed game winner, on a couple of unlucky bounces. But the real reason the Spurs are down 2-0 isn't luck, and it isn't even Wembanyama. It's something boring, structural, and almost impossible to fix in June. They don't have a bench. Let me show you the cliff. Here's the setup. The Spurs have lost 2 straight, both close by a combined 11 points. When games are that tight, you don't lose them on the marquee. You lose them in the minutes the stars sit, and in the points your second unit either scores or doesn't. San Antonio's second unit mostly doesn't, and that quiet gap is the whole series. This is Game is Culture. Real quick before we dig in, if you like breakdowns that actually show the math instead of just yelling takes at you, go hit subscribe. It's free and it genuinely helps, so click it. So let's look at what San Antonio's bench actually produced. In Game 2, the Spurs got 15 points from rookie Dylan Harper off the bench. Great. Now here's the rest of that second unit. Keldon Johnson, 3. Luke Cornett, 1. Harrison Barnes, nothing. Carter Bryant, nothing. Outside of one 20-year-old, the entire San Antonio bench produced 4 points in a finals game. Put it on a chart and it's almost comical. 15 from Harper, 4 from everyone else combined. That's not a bench. That's a rookie and a group of guys keeping the seats warm. When your stars need a breather, that's who has to hold the lead. They couldn't. Now compare it to the team beating them. New York's bench scored 27 with Landry Shamet, Mitchell Robinson, and Miles McBride all chipping in. San Antonio's scored 19, and again, most of that was one rookie. An 8-point bench gap in a game decided by 1. The reserves alone were the margin. And this isn't a one-night fluke, it's how the roster is built. San Antonio is young and top-heavy, a few stars and a thin, unproven supporting cast. That's fine in the regular season when you can hide it. In the finals against a deep team, it gets exposed every single night. And it's the trade-off of being young and ahead of schedule. San Antonio built fast around a generational core, and that's exciting. But it left the back of the rotation full of unproven kids and journeymen. In the regular season, you can stagger your stars and survive. In the finals, the other team's bench is full of grown, battle-tested role players, and the gap between the 2 second units is a canyon. And the thin bench creates a second, sneakier problem. Because you can't trust the bench, the starters can't rest. Wembanyama played 40 minutes in Game 2. The other starters logged heavy, grinding minutes too. Now think about the fourth quarter when both teams are exhausted. The team with fresh legs makes the winning play. The team running its stars into the ground makes the tired mistake. San Antonio has been the tired team. Quick interruption, because the strategic cost is even bigger. Hit subscribe if you're enjoying this. I'm not gonna beg, but I am gonna ask. So hit it, and I'll wait. Here's why depth wins championships, not just games. A 7-game series is a war of attrition. Bodies break down, foul trouble happens, someone has a cold night. The deep team absorbs all of it. New York can lose a starter for a stretch and keep humming because the next man up can play. San Antonio loses a starter and the floor caves in. Over 7 games, that gap doesn't shrink, it compounds. It even handcuffs the coaching. A deep team can gamble, trap, foul, and throw bodies at a problem because the bench can cover. San Antonio has to play it safe, ride the starters, and pray. When you can't trust your second unit, half the playbook disappears. The thin bench doesn't just cost points, it costs options. You can see it in the rhythm of the games. San Antonio builds a lead with the starters, then the moment a couple of them sit, the offense sputters and New York climbs right back in. By the time the closers return, the cushion is gone and it's a dogfight again. Those bench minutes, the ones nobody clips, are quietly handing momentum back to the Knicks over and over. Now the honest part, because it matters. This isn't that San Antonio's reserves are bad players. They're young, they're raw, and Harper has been genuinely excellent. The problem is one rookie is not a bench. And here's the part that should haunt them, because the starters are good enough that this is fixable in theory. They're losing by a combined 11 points. A bench that scores even 8 more, and this series flips. So sit with this number, 4. That's how many points the San Antonio bench scored in Game 2 outside of Dylan Harper. 4 points from every reserve not named Harper in a 1-point finals game. You cannot win a championship getting 4 points from your entire bench. You usually can't win a single game. And the cruelest part is the timing. You can fix a thin bench in the offseason with a trade or free agency. You cannot fix it in the middle of the finals. The players who'd give San Antonio depth don't exist on this roster right now. So the 0-2 hole isn't just bad luck or a missed shot. It's partly baked into the roster they brought to June. So when you watch Game 3, don't just watch Wembanyama. Watch what happens the moment he sits. Watch the lead the second the starters rest. That's where this series is actually being decided, in the quiet minutes the cameras ignore, by a bench that simply isn't deep enough. That's the real reason San Antonio is down 2-0. So I'll leave it with you. Can San Antonio's young bench grow up fast enough to steal this series? Or is the depth gap simply too big to overcome? I think the cliff is real, and it's the quietest reason they're losing. Tell me what you think down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe. We're in a race to 1,000 subscribers, so please join the family.